Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to R.O.P. Run of Play podcast. Hope you're having a beautiful and fantastic day like Chelsea fans and Arsenal fans. Having a sad day like the United fans against Welbeck. Right, we've got the regular panel here. We've got Jude, Mr. Long the Ball. How are you doing, Jude?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good today.
Are you sure you're doing good? All right, then, no problem. We also have the jersey collector, Mr. Johnny Boy. How are you doing, Johnny Boy, sir?
I'm so happy to be here and good to discuss football with my folks.
Yeah,
And
fantastic.
tease United fans too.
Yes, for once.
Just one loss.
And we also have the Arsenal instigator and our moderator, aka the Arsenal defender. You can call him Casemiro, Mr. Sean T. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm okay. I'm okay. I want to congratulate Arsenal on their trophy. Two games into the season.
Yeah.
Because if you listen to the way Arsenal fans are talking, right, it's as if they've already won the league. So congratulations on your title.
That's the voice of a bitter United fan.
Don't mind him. Please, if your team had 3 points this weekend, please press the like button, okay? And if your team did not have 3 points, just press subscribe, all right? Thank you very much. So let me hand over to the moderator to see if he wants to start from, the mid-table battle
there's nowhere else
or
to,
the top 6 battle, whichever one,
No, there's nowhere else to start.
Let's start from the first game that began the weekend.
Yes, the game that began the weekend, the loss.
And top six battle. Yeah.
I told you guys that I was super pumped up for the match, super excited, and then I slept off, because it was 4:30 a.m. and I couldn't watch it. And I woke up to see oh, we had lost. And the noise that was coming out, right, the way everybody was talking, I've never felt so overwhelmed by a match 2 games into the season. So I've been watching the Brighton match, rewatching it on MUTV. Now I've seen it 3 times now again, just to watch it with my own eyes and see okay, maybe I'm missing something or I'm crazy, right? And I think for me, my takeaway is that we're fine. United is fine. We played well against Brighton. We had more possession than them, more passes, more shots. The way I saw the game, we were relatively in control. They scored against the run of play, but we dominated in the first half. Second half, they came out with some aggression, and Ten Hag made changes. Those changes impacted the game because Garnacho went on to score. Very unlucky. I don't know what Joshua Zirkzee was doing there, but we're very unlucky to have the goal ruled out, and eventually at the end it was bottled. So we'll have to hold that.
Yes, what happened to mentality? What happened to mentality? The mentality of United fans right now against how do you lose the game in the 80-something minutes?
No, I mean it's a mentality problem now. It's a mentality problem, and that's a carryover from last season, right? One of the biggest problems that United had last season was that we were in this situation many times where 90th minute, 94th minute. I think our Champions League run ended because for 3 consecutive games we conceded, late goals and we lost. I mean, I'll ask the other reluctant, albeit United
No.
fan.
Before you go, because you said mentality
I'm on the hot seat.
only applies to Arsenal. It does not apply to United. How come that mentality did not take you guys onwards? You guys are back because against Fulham, you had a lucky goal. One goal you scraped through Fulham, but you had all the ginger that you're ready for the season. You're going to win the league. All of a sudden now you're oh, this is continuing from last season. But that energy was not the same.
No, wait now. So what I criticized about Arsenal's mentality and that point not being applicable to United is because the expectations are different. The expectations from Man United are different going into the season than they are for Arsenal. Both the expectations that the fans have of the team and that the media and the sports press expects of both teams, right? So going into the season, United's mentality problem has to do with finding a way to be consistent to stay in the top 4. Arsenal's mentality problem has to do with a different thing. Going over the finish line and actually winning.
United to win the league. So what expectation are you talking about? Whose expectation? Because you predicted that Man
U would win. I'm pretty sure if you took a poll of United fans and asked them where they thought the club would finish, most United fans would say top 4.
Yeah,
5% to say they would win the league, and I'm in the minority. So you cannot use me as representative. You yourself said so, right, in the lead up to this
No,
call
I asked you. You said it.
that I'm like KG, whereas Flex represents the moderate, mainstream view of Manchester United. So I mean, I'm perfectly willing to defend, and like I said, part of why I've watched this Man U game against Brighton. I don't watch them like 3 times now, like from full 90 minutes, because I'm like, what is? I've never seen a situation where 2 games into a season, it's already an inquest. Everybody already has their pitchforks out. The question is,
I
where do
am
you
neutral.
stand? Where do you stand on this? Man United's prospects, right? Do you see in watching Fulham or Brighton? Do you see anything different or improved at all, or do you think it's just a continuation of same old and it's only a matter of time until they sack the manager?
I think one aspect I'll give my credit for, maybe it's part of your new side, is that I think defensively you guys are better in terms of shape wise and coordination and back. You guys are better, so I understand that. Unlike before, I'm sure against Fulham they would have scored more goals. Same against Brighton. The game against Fulham, like you said, Man U had a better gameplay than Fulham,
Because
but
they're at
and
home.
still
And
won.
Plan was rubbish, as I said last episode. But
I gave that, yes. And then Brighton, it was a 50-50 game. Even though Brighton had chances too, especially at the beginning of second half. The way I saw that game was that first half, it was like, okay, nobody wants to lose this game. So it was like KG and, everybody was sitting back. But second half, Brighton started well, right? And they missed some chances. And then United scored. United scored. They had the ascendancy and they started playing well. And they got a second goal, but fortunately for them, their new signing Zexi was on the line, so they canceled the goal.
no, it's not unfortunate. It was
But
offside. Even he knew it because he did not celebrate when Garnacho was running away. He did not celebrate because he knew it was offside.
Don't let hate
But
choke
continue.
yeah,
choke
but
your
Garnacho
insight, prevent you from
celebrated
seeing
now,
the truth.
so he
No, but
celebrated
it's
though.
true
So
though.
he
No,
kind of
Zexi
felt
did not celebrate because he knew it was offside. You
No,
can watch it
but it
again. You
was
watch it
bad
3
luck
times
he
now.
before you
he
saw
knew
it.
But it was bad luck.
he knew, but I think
It
some
can be bad. It
some
can
other
be
fans
both bad
didn't know
luck
at the point.
and an offside. It doesn't have to be one or the other.
Okay, no
So
problem.
and that game, it just felt like anybody that went on to score the second goal would have won the game because the way the game was going was like whoever was going to score the second goal was going to win. And unfortunately for United, Brighton scored at the best time for them because immediately they
So you're
scored,
giving us
everybody knew that
credit.
the
So
game was
you're
over.
giving United credit, but I feel like there's a but somewhere. Somewhere in there, you're giving us credits for
I'm
improvements,
giving you guys credit because
but
you guys have improved, no doubt. Because if it was United of last season, I'm sure Brighton would have given you at least 4. But then the most important thing is still got the L, right?
All right.
And the
no, I
stats
mean no.
don't lie.
So
They said
we're the
I've played 6 games under Ten Hag against Brighton, and I've lost 5 out of 6. So that tells you
no.
that Brighton
What is
probably has a game.
what is
Can
at
I,
stake
Doesn't
here?
matter the manager.
No. What is at
Sean,
stake here
Sean,
is what is at stake here, Jude.
aside,
Jude, I
Let
want
me
to ask
frame
you
the
some
question.
question, but let him finish.
Let me frame the question, right, for Jude as a United fan, because what is at stake here is
Oh, answer the
where is
question.
United going? Where is United going in general, right? And when I say this has been the longest 2 or 3 days of my life, is because I don't want to go into this season feeling as a United fan that every single game, if we win, like Ten Hag has to win or just to survive his job, he has to win every game because we either win or it's all hell breaks loose, right? So I mean, how are you feeling as a United fan about the season?
In
Like I'm sure
in
you watched
addition
the Brighton game.
in addition to those questions, in addition to that question, I have 2. How do you feel your own boy Danny Welbeck scoring his 100th goal in the Premier League against you guys? And question number 2: how do you have Ruud van Nistelrooy, your legend, top striker, as the striking coach? You played 2 forwards, 2 false nines, Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes, and you didn't even play like you had any strikers on the pitch.
Okay, so you just want to banter
so
us. Okay.
No, it's
for
an
me,
innocent question now. It's a
I'll
question.
start with a shameless question. I feel looking at the game, right, like Jennifer said, it's 50-50. But for me, I feel like we did good. We actually were impressive. It was the United of last season. It could have been worse at some point. The way they dominated the team, it could have been worse at some point with the United of last season. But we played well. The My issue is one, the left back situation. we need to resolve it. Most of the goals came from the left back situation, and I don't know if you
Was it
looked
not a new
that
signing?
angle while you were watching
Was it not a new
the
signing?
game.
Sorry, the first goal came from Maguire, not the left back.
No, it's the
From the
left
right,
back. The
right hand
ball
side.
passed. Where was Dalo? Right, the ball came from the left. That left back situation and
Yeah,
crossed
but
over to
Maguire was well watching. That's why he scored. He
Maguire
was
has
well
the
watching.
fault for not clearing. Even when the ball was coming back, where was Dalo? Lisandro was left with two players. The second part
But you
is
guys signed all these defenders, no?
I
The transfer window was defenders. Well, how come you're still not having a good
no.
defense?
That's
No,
no. We still
this
needed
is
a left
what I
back.
said now, Dr.
Definitely.
Toves.
No, but
If
it has
you're trying
improved.
to
It has
banter
improved.
us,
It has
or if you're
improved.
asking a
Like
I'm
when
just
football
we
question,
asking the questions that the
we've
audience
actually
wants to
improved
know.
as a
The
fan.
audience would
As
like
a
to know the
fan,
answer to this
I'm
question.
pumped up for the
Yes.
season. As a Manchester United fan, which I've been on pause for like a few years, but now I'm pumped up for the season. I'm excited for the season. You understand? I'm excited. I said in the last episode, right, that we need to start playing the striker because we need a striker to be there. That false nine, like that game was like, there's a difference. You see when Zexi entered, you see that pressure from a striker who wants to score, look for an error. It's different from where Fernandez and Mount are chasing the ball. They are just like, we're trying to block that space. They
Is
are
Rashford
not
not a
actually
striker?
chasing to get the ball and score. When they get the ball, they are like already tired from chasing.
Hmm.
You understand? That's one.
Rashford is not a
Then
striker.
which answers your question, like the
Rashford is not
striking
a
problem,
striker,
right?
Yeah.
Dr.
I'm not
Toves,
happy
Oh,
right?
okay.
with the striking problem.
Okay.
I'm not happy with him playing no striker.
Since when?
When
We
on his debut against Arsenal, which position did he play and score 2 goals? That you guys will never let us forget.
Okay,
Rashford debut.
so clearly,
Is
this
it
is
striker
that's
that's
what I
forgotten?
always tell
I
them.
guess
I
I'm
was saying the same
inserting,
thing.
or
And also,
assessing
he's
monitor's privilege here because clearly
he
Dr.
has
Toves is
been.
trying to banter us.
Look, the audience would like to know. I'm always speaking on behalf of the audience. The audience would like to know that Rashford has been in the first team since he was 18. He's 27 now. How come he still doesn't know when he is offside?
No, but what is your point now? Like, what are you getting at now? Because United
No,
How
just
come he
fans,
doesn't know?
because
no,
how can you be in the team
United
for over
fans
10 years?
far and
You
wide.
still don't have you don't know your position. Left wing is not the left wing.
It's
Striker
not
is
true.
not the
It's not true that
striker.
Rashford doesn't
First
know his
nine is not a
position.
first
Rashford is
nine.
a striker. Leave
It's
them.
not true that he doesn't know
Rashford is
his
a
It's
striker.
position.
for
Rashford is
for
not a
me,
striker.
Rashford is a striker. For me, Rashford is
Uh-huh.
a striker. He might not be an inbox striker like the Chikarito.
Exactly. It's
Uh,
Aubameyang type of striker. Comes in from
is
the
the kind
left,
of striker
isn't
that
it?
that's not always in the box.
Uh-huh.
But the main concern is he's not a winger. He doesn't cross. Can you remember one cross from Rashford?
But that kind of misses the point like entirely now because Rashford is like how many wingers cross these days? Like who is crossing now in
How many
football anymore?
wingers
Saka
Um,
cross?
does,
Saka
Salah
cross.
does, Diaz
Martinelli
does,
well,
crosses.
Foden
well, I mean,
Uh,
does,
well,
can we
well,
list them?
Silva
well.
Doc
The
does,
same
tries
way,
to
the same way you're
cross.
calling all these people,
Silva does.
Doku
I can
Foden
count
does.
does.
Like,
crosses. I can count crosses that
Ferran
Rashford
Torres
has
does.
made as well, right? So basically, with Ronaldo essentially, or from Ronaldo's time, wingers evolved from David
But I
Beckham,
think
Ryan Giggs,
for me,
and right wing, left wing to inside forwards
I
essentially,
actually think
and
Rashford needs to
football.
improve his game.
No, yes, so I agree with you on that point, right, Jude? But don't let Dr. Toves bait you into answering
No, he's
questions
not
about whether or
baiting
not
me.
Rashford
No, no,
is a
he's not
striker or not
baiting
a
me.
striker.
I'm not that person that want to
but okay,
defend
but
what is not good.
you shall have three forwards. So how come they were not as efficient in front of goal? You
I
have
mean,
Ruud this right as
again,
your striking coach.
what kind of question are
They
you asking
were,
now?
they
You're asking
were.
why didn't we win the
Ahmad
game?
scored.
Are they still not
Ahmad scored.
effective?
Garnacho scored.
Two
It was ruled
false
out.
nines. Two false nines. That is not including Rashford, by the way. Rashford was there, but it's not one of the false nines. But he's a striker. It's not a striker. He's a forward. It's not a forward. But it's not one
No,
of
in
the
that
false
game,
nines.
Rashford wasn't
So
the striker.
what was his role in his team in the team?
Okay,
Just wrong.
don't know what kind of masochist like requested that they wanted to see Dr. Toves attack United today, but that surely can't be how the conversation will go. And
No,
if
that's
you
what
want United
happened
fans to
in
analyze,
against Brighton.
if you want us to analyze from our perspective as United fans how we saw the game, which is kind of what I was asking Jude to speak on, right? Like, so as a United fan, I still want to hear Jude from your perspective. Do you feel
Okay.
like what Dr. Toes is trying to do is what like all them Sky Sports, Talk Sport, BBC, what everybody's trying to do to United, trying to raise the stakes such that you have to start answering for why Rashford has not scored or why Mason Mount and this one. When it's a kind of funny question when everybody knows
we
that.
just want to
Wait,
know. You
now
guys know more
wait.
than us, but anyway.
When everybody knows that
I'm not even
Højlund is
bothered
injured.
about Rashford now.
Højlund is injured and Xerxes is barely fit, so he played 45 minutes. We 50-50 game we could have won. So asking, I played two midfielders, all that kind of question. But saying, how do you feel as a United fan, Jude?
No,
Like,
I'm actually impressed by the
Okay.
by the game. Like I'm really impressed by the game. They did well. The scoreline didn't tell much.
Yeah.
The result didn't show much, but it's more like, see, there's nothing as good as feeling good that your defense is you are relaxed when they are attacking you. You are more relaxed. Like nothing is going to. You are most likely that there's less probability that there will be a goal from their attack.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? It's more like we need to also shift towards striking, because I know initially I said this thing that we have a good solid defense and midfield is balanced, but we need to start scoring, because if we don't score, we end up pressing more on defending, and you can't defend the whole 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? And then we'll have an error. That's what I think ETH has to look into. And I believe Ruth Van Nistelrooy is not doing a bad job, because Garnacho now, before last season, he was like 5 out of 10. Now he's almost like scoring 2 out of 3.
No, but again, even by addressing the root points,
Ahmad too.
But by addressing the root points, you're falling into the trap, because there's no reason why we should have to be answering for why the presence of Ruud van Nistelrooy in the dugout is not translating to goals in our striker. Like, is Ruud scoring for them? Did they say that Ruud, because he's a striker,
our
they teach people how to score goals?
Striker is not yet back.
He's a coach.
Is not yet back. So
since you guys are playing well, neutral fans like us, we want to know, against Liverpool, how are you guys feeling? You're at Old Trafford. You guys are playing well.
No,
the team is good.
Before we get to Liverpool.
Okay.
Other fixtures
against Liverpool.
Before we get to Liverpool, right? I still want to have before we get to Liverpool, I still think we should spend a little bit of time on the media conversation around United, right? And why it's such a big deal, because everybody's obsessed. So Johnny Boy sent us this really dirty image, or this
it's a selling point for them
of Man United.
Because I wake up every morning and I see
it's the meme for the week.
So the question for you, I think, is, from your perspective, do you accept that there is an outsized amount of attention paid to Man United? Do you accept it, first of all? And if you do you think it's right for Ten Hag to be under such like pressure? Because the pressure that Ten Hag is under, like 3 months, like they've not spent the most money. He's not spent the most. If it's money, he's not spent the most. If it's length of time, he's not been there the most. If he's signing, he has not signed the most, because Chelsea has signed more. But he has won trophies and everything. So like his own is not the worst. So why is the noise like? How do you see this media, discuss like aspects of the conversation?
Well, I don't see anything bad from the media, because most of the people in the media are all ex-United players. It is you guys that are doing. It's you guys that are doing it to yourself in the first place, because the media people are all United players, ex-United players, so they don't want putting pressure on your manager.
That's what you
but
say.
For us, the rest of us, we are watching the games and we don't understand what is going on. We can't see style of play. We don't see anything. We know that United fans always banter everybody. They think they're still in Sir Alex Ferguson time, because I remember before the start of the season, one of us here, I'm not mentioning names, said that United will be the surprise of the season. They are going to win the league. The first game against the first. I understand.
Even Madrid
the first game against Fulham. Innocent people like us said you guys did not play very well. Fulham was not well organized. You only scraped a win. You're like, no, United is back. Against Brighton, I told you that against Brighton, I know I had technical difficulties, so it was chopped off last week. But here we know that I said Brighton is going to be a different opposition.
I said
you guys are going to lose against Brighton. You said no, United are back, and now you lost. So I'm asking innocent questions.
But
we don't know
how
that
wasn't any type of analysis.
Anyway, not like we lost.
The pressure on let me answer your question directly. No more trolling. The pressure on Ten Hag is on Ten Hag because he by himself came out to say eras come to an end. So he's the one that set the bar high for himself.
Right.
So we want to see him end eras, but he's not ending it. So we are still wondering when is this era going to end? And Ten Hag era stands.
He's ending some eras now.
Yes.
No, yeah,
and
I mean,
he came in, mistreated Ronaldo, and make him feel like he's the number one Don
Club
Dada.
is out already.
If you're Don Dada, act like a Don Dada. That's all. That's all. The rest, innocent fans.
Speaking of eras, right, Johnny Boy. Speaking of eras, let's just use the opportunity to segue. There's a new regime at Chelsea, clearly. In a new era going on over there, new situation, a very blunt coach with Enzo Maresca, clearly telling the player, I don't want you in my squad. You're not the type of winger I want. 2 seconds on that type of approach. 2 minutes on that kind of approach. Because Ten Hag himself was not that direct, right? I don't think I've ever heard a manager say, I don't want this player. He's not the type of player that I want. Let him go and find another club. I'm speaking of Sterling specifically. Johnny Boy, what do you make of Chelsea's situation with Sterling and them trying to looking for who would help them, pick up this bag of shit that they have in the form of Raheem Sterling? If you can say, I'll talk about the Man U Sancho Sterling swap as well. But I mean, do you feel bad for Sterling? Are you on Chelsea's side? How do you see the situation?
I mean, it's very clear that it's a political or the decision is coming from the top. And Sterling has not helped himself because he has not performed well too. So added the fact that you're not performing well and you're earning so much money, I mean, it's not going to all go well for you. So I think it's coming from the top. They want to do the same way it happened with Aubameyang and Arsenal. You're not. I mean, we're paying you this amount of money and there's no correlation. You're like one of the worst players in the team. So there's no point of we paying you that amount of money and you're playing nonsense. So I believe it's coming from the top. Yeah, at least, but Jackson, and the thing about Jackson, like people say, like Jackson still gives you effort. Have you seen Sterling play? Sterling doesn't even give you effort. Like he's just I don't know, man. Sterling, the fall off is crazy. It's as if Pep knew that Sterling was finished and he just sold him to Chelsea. That's what I saw because Sterling going to Man U. I don't understand what Man U sees in him. Hopefully, it's between Man U and Chelsea. So that's not my business.
Do you think it's more about?
I don't think it will happen.
Yeah, Johnny Boy, do you think it's more about Sterling's ability as a player or his wages, essentially? Like how much he's earning and Chelsea they need to free up some.
I said, I don't think it's more of ability. It's just that because he's not performing. Like they're paying him this huge. I think he's the head in Chelsea if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
They're paying this huge amount of money and he's not like he doesn't even start. Like even under the former coach. If you notice on that Poch, he wasn't playing too. Like he was always coming on as a sub.
Yeah.
So that tells you that it's not even like it's not about Maresca. Like he has not been performing well for a long time. So you're not. I mean, we're paying you so much. We're not getting returns on our investment. So and if you notice what Chelsea's trying to do now, Chelsea's trying to reduce their wage bill.
Yeah.
So they're getting rid of Lukaku as well. They're getting rid of Lukaku as well. And they're trying to get rid of Chilwell. So those are three of their highest earners. So if you know that, and 3 of them are not performing well, so it correlates.
No, the Chilwell one is actually fascinating because he's earning lots of money. Dr. Toves, Sterling, I think now that he's in the news, is subject to a lot of debates. People are arguing about how good they think Sterling is or is not. Where do you stand on Sterling? Top 6 player, world class, local champion, continental. What's your verdict on Sterling?
No, my verdict on Sterling right now is because he started young. I think maybe he reached his peak early and is getting to the decline. So he just needs a new challenge somewhere. Sterling is not a terrible player because even against Manchester City last season, he still showed that he had something in there. So maybe he just needs to swallow his pride and accept that maybe he's on some kind of James Milner type of level and go down somewhere like a mid-table team and just settle down there.
Yeah, Crystal Palace
and get on to living.
But the
all those kind of things.
A huge drop in salary though. He has to take a very huge.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Chelsea will have to eat
more than 50%.
Yeah,
more than 50%.
Like you said, Chelsea have to either they cancel his contract or whichever way they want to do it, but they have to let him go. But it's not ready for the big team anymore again at this point in time. Just swallow your pride. They've done Welbeck settings. Go to Brighton. Go to Ipswich. Chill there. Go and be a big fish in a small pond and take a career from there. Like
Yeah,
maybe
but
you can come back.
the issue now, the problem with the dilemma was telling is that even those mid-level teams you're calling, how many of them are going to one team, even if you reduce his salary?
Well, you could
Like you
have said
mentioned
that.
Brighton.
You could have said that about
I
Ross
don't think
Barkley. You could have said that about Ross
I don't think
Barkley when
Brighton
he
will want him.
left Chelsea as well. But he was in Luton and now
Yeah, but
he's
he had to go to
Chelsea now.
Luton. Luton was like
But when they came to
Luton was just
Premiership,
coming up.
isn't it? Like you just have to swallow your pride. Like I said, be a big fish in a small pond
Yeah,
and
but Luton
play your
was
way
not a
back up.
mid-table team.
Because Barkley,
It was like a
Luton is
Brighton
in
now.
now. He has
I
moved
think
from
I
Luton
think
to
he might
a
also be a
different
good
team.
buy for Newcastle. It's not really a bad option for
No,
Newcastle.
it's
I'm
not.
telling
He
you, it's
won't
not
even
really
play
a bad option.
Newcastle.
He
He
just
won't
needs
play
to increase.
Newcastle because
But
That
if
would be
he's
a
not
waste
going
of
to
money.
increase his play,
he won't play Newcastle. He needs to go to a club
he'll
that he will
probably
play.
play from the left. That left wing
He
is
He
can
won't
go
too.
back
play.
to Crystal Palace, like Sean
Gordon is
said.
playing there. What are you talking about?
He started from Crystal Palace. He can go back to Crystal Palace and chill over
Yeah,
there.
I mean,
So what happens to Eze? What happens to Eze? Because Eze plays on the left too.
But Eze can
truly,
play anywhere. Can play anywhere in
this
the front three. They don't have Olise
this
anymore, so Eze can go to the right, play
this
in the
is
middle.
ultimately the question, and I think Johnny Boy is being very disrespectful when he says that Sterling cannot play for Luton Town or for Crystal
No,
Palace.
that's not what I said. That's not what I said.
What did you
No,
say?
that's what I said. Crystal Palace. I said even the team you're mentioning mid-level teams. You mentioned Brighton. I say for Brighton, he wouldn't be able to play because they have Mitoma and Adingra.
Uh-uh. I
And
think
they had that
I
Minte
think
guy.
I'll sit down on the bench now. But then I'll go to the right now.
No.
No, no, no.
Remember, we're
Mitoma is
talking
better.
about selling off now,
Mitoma is better than Sterling,
not the selling of 3-4
performance
years
wise.
now. We're talking about it selling off now. You guys are basing it based on selling,
I'm
We're talking
not.
about
I'm
selling
not.
off right now.
I'm basing it based on the Sterling that any team who buys Sterling right now will be getting. I think if Chelsea is able to pay him off, pay his salary off, I think a few teams will be happy to take Sterling. The restriction right
That's for
now
sure.
is
But
the
I guarantee you, Brighton is not going to be one of them.
no, yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, sure. It doesn't have to be Brighton, right?
No, they don't need him. They don't need
Probably,
him. They
probably,
already have
probably
two
Crystal.
decent.
Yeah, exactly.
They
Yeah,
don't
I'm
need
not.
him.
Yeah,
That's why I
I
said
didn't.
Crystal Palace
Newcastle,
might be.
Newcastle can get him. That wing is not yet
I don't
filled
think
up.
Newcastle even want him.
Gordon might not be able to play foot
All
like
those kind of
he
wolves.
never can
Wolves need
tell.
a
He can
player.
go
He
there
They
and
can.
have
make
He can
Harvey
go to
Barnes.
Wolves.
he
Okay.
can
Wolves make
he can
sense.
also
Yeah,
go to
Wolves
West
make
Ham.
sense.
He can
Yeah,
because
exactly.
this
There are
guy
so
can
many
play
places
Well,
you can
wherever.
find in the
he won't go
Premier
to
League.
West Ham. West Ham will be the wrong move for him. West Ham will be the wrong move
Are
for
you?
him.
Because the other guy
We
can
are
play this
saying where
side.
can he go? Is that level of club, regardless wherever he goes, he can go there.
For
But
me,
it's not a.
I
It's
feel
not a
for
top
I
No,
feel
but
four
remember, he has to
player
go to a
anymore.
club you'll be able to play now. That's what I'm saying.
but
That's my point. He has to go
I
to a
feel
club
like
you'll
he
be
should
able
go
to
No,
play.
Sterling
international. I
plays
If he
don't
goes
in
to
a
think
lot
West Ham,
of
he won't play.
Sterling plays in a lot of
He
clubs
won't
that
play
are not
for
in the
West
top
Ham.
six.
I actually
I
think he
mean,
should
Jude,
leave the Premier League and go international and go somewhere. It's a new challenge. He will enjoy it.
Yeah,
You
right?
understand? Than
Atalanta.
playing
I like
Premier
Sterling.
League.
I like Sterling. So I want him to go to a club he will play. He wouldn't play in West Ham. He wouldn't play in Brighton.
You should go to French
Palace,
league.
yes, he can play in Palace. So Palace is good. Palace is fine.
Last time, don't
Which
really
other
have a
team is
team
okay?
like that. I remember.
No,
Either
remember they
Bowen
have
or
Kudus and this guy.
Anthony.
They have Kudus, they have this
But
other guy, the
they're not
captain now.
strikers.
What's
They're
his
not
name? The
forward.
English boy. The English boy. What's his name? The English guy.
Paqueta.
There's a captain right now.
But yeah,
No,
I
the
said
English
Bowen
guy. Bowen,
and
exactly.
Antonio.
So it's Bowen and
They have
Kudus that
Bowen.
plays
They
on
have
the wing.
Antonio.
Even Antonio
Yeah,
hasn't been playing himself.
exactly. So I'm sure Sterling
So
can fit in if they wanted him.
he
Like
can fit him, but he won't start. That's the problem. That's my issue. I want him to start because that's the only way to me, that's the only way he can game. Sterling can come back to
Sterling has
himself. He needs to
pedigree.
be playing.
Sterling, you are just sleeping on Sterling. He's still like Sterling is still that
I know,
like he
that's what I'm
has.
saying.
He was once upon a time the guy. He was one upon a time a guy
That's
at
what I'm
Liverpool. He was once upon
that's the
a
reason why he has to
time
go
a
to
guy
a club.
at Man City. So
That's why
yeah,
he has to go to a club he will start.
I don't know
That's
why
my
what do
Vela
you
issue.
is
guys think
seeing
about?
him.
Let's
I don't
move
know
on
why
a
you are
bit.
seeing him as
Still
that
in the
low.
Yeah, we're spending too much time on Sterling that's not playing. Yeah, let's talk about people that played. Cole Palmer and Noni Madueke. What do you guys think? Noni Madueke, at the beginning of, before the game started, he said Wolverhampton is basically a shithole, a shithole town. The game started, the fans were booing him, second half, hat-trick. Like, what do you guys think about that kind of, the situation? What are your thoughts initially? And then also, what do you think that Palmer playing as that number 10, that is his right best position? that way because it's interchange with between him and Madueke that the combination was perfect. What are your thoughts? Let's start with Jude again. Like Madueke as well as Palmer's new position.
Uh, I believe the that Madueke stuff is like one of the. It just reminds me of Zlatan. So you talk it and you do it. So
Mm,
as I give him some respect, right? But it was a beautiful game. They played well. I think Wolves kind of lost. I don't know if to say Wolves lost their balance or Chelsea outplayed them while they
no,
were
Chelsea
trying
are
to
playing them.
catch up and stuff. So I think it's a good game. We'll probably see their next game and see how that run goes.
Mm,
Um, this guy had a beautiful game also from the 10 position, which looks more better than him playing towards from the wing side. So I I'm
But he had
pretty
his best season at playing on the wings, though.
but this
yeah.
season
Well,
just started. What he
it
has
just
only had
started,
one full professional season. Like you
so
can compare to what
we'll see what he can do, right? And see if he's a
exactly.
folding
He
kind
had
of
a
player
hat trick of assists.
that can play different wings.
Mm,
So I feel it's like Maresca to me, he's looking promising, but I don't want to
yeah,
jump in early and buy into his idea.
yeah,
So it's actually working for him, and I think it's more like a situation. That's where that Sterling stuff comes in. Like tell those guys to leave, and then it wakes up
focus
everybody
on your players. Yeah,
to fight for their position. Because if you're not playing well, somebody else you'll be benched. Somebody else will take over, and from there your value goes away. So everybody is like all serious and ready to win. And there are not much old players there. I think the oldest probably is it Reece James that is the
yeah.
oldest in that team right now. So they are not more that oldest. And the
Not
oldest
even
player
in
is a
terms of age
serious,
as well. Yeah,
even as of age. And I'm talking about the time in Chelsea. Even at
yeah,
that
yeah,
point, Reece James is also a very professional athlete. So
yeah.
it's not like, so it will make everybody in the team to want to play good. And so it's not bad. At least the Enzo and this guy sits down, which is what we're talking about. We'll have to see how Enzo and this guy pair can work, which
And
I think
Caicedo
maybe
or
we'll see the
Lavia.
next game, and then we
Mm,
can decide what if that's the best position for him. That's what I
okay.
think. But it's actually good backing up what you. It's really a
Yeah,
bold statement.
yeah. And what are your thoughts on the same Johnny Boy like on Palmer's
Just
position and
like Judah said, I think that's the best way to back up your statement, just like Zlatan would do. But my
mm,
question would be like, does he have a history with Wolves? Because why would he just come out and say that about a town like Wolverhampton? Did he go there for loan or something? There
no,
must
no, no,
might
no.
have been a
I
history.
just thought maybe he has never been to Wolves before in his life. I don't know. So he went to the city. He saw that the city is not as no, it's not a city. Wolves is a town. He went to the town and
Okay.
saw that the town is not that it's not posh. So it's like, oh, this place. Like he said, he didn't mean to put it on Instagram, and but he did anyway. So maybe he just
And
like
also,
there's nothing nice. Maybe you have to say there's nothing nice in this town. The town is not fine, and then and then the Wolves people
and
took it
also another thing too, you
anyway.
guys should also notice that Noni has been in the headlines or in the news for like being Chelsea's one of the players Chelsea wants to sell, if you remember.
Mm.
So I think this game has probably helped him a lot. So now probably Chelsea will not look to get rid of him again. So that's good for him. As regards Cole Palmer's case, it's still new, like you said, right? It's still new, so I can't judge. He had his best season coming on from the right, be playing as a winger. But now Maresca has a huge headache because remember, Joao Felix is also in that team too. And
Yes.
Joao Felix to me is not a striker, he's more like a 10. Enzo too, to me, I see him more as a 10 as well. And
Mhm.
then if Chelsea also gets a striker now, that becomes a conundrum because now how do you fit all these whole pieces? So I don't understand what Chelsea's trying to do, but like Maresca, it's his headache to figure it out.
Yeah.
That's why he's head coach. So
Yeah, exactly.
he's going to
No,
figure it out.
I
And
think.
if he does, Chelsea is going to be scary too. To
Hmm,
be honest with you, if he does figure it out, Chelsea is going to be scary. Because if you notice what Chelsea is doing, like just like Shewuti said, they're trying to buy all the young stars that are promising,
hmm,
right? And imagine they're all in the same age bracket. So they're going to develop and then mature together. So you're like building a team for like 5, 6 years. Imagine
7
the
years.
team,
Yeah.
the team Chelsea gets good.
Mm.
So they're going to dominate for like 5, 6 years if they get good. So that's
Yeah.
what I think Todd Bowley is banking on. So
Yeah.
if Chelsea clicks, they might, to me, I think I don't know, but I think I chose them as my underdog for the season. I think I chose Chelsea as my underdog.
Yeah. I think we are going to have
If they click, because
maybe like because the transfer window will end this week, like maybe by Friday or
on
something.
Friday I
So
think.
yeah, we'll probably do like a revised prediction for the season. But yeah, I think you're right. No, Maresca is trying to fit everyone in, but I think him moving Palmer to like number 10 and giving Madueke that license, because Madueke is not a bad player, right? He also has the
It's
flicks and
not.
tricks. So I guess it's just trying to accommodate Madueke, trying to accommodate João Felix, because when João came on, I think
Exactly.
he
That's what
came
I'm
from
saying.
the left this time, right? Left going into the forward position. So maybe that might be it. I don't think Mudryk is going to have much game time this season. So I think it's just going to be those three,
Modric is
and then
talented,
Jackson
but
on top.
his decision
He's
making.
still learning. Yeah, he's still learning. So yeah.
Modric, no.
So
He's
let's
good,
talk.
but his decision making is poor.
Hmm. What do you guys think about the Arsenal Aston Villa game? Right, I know the game ended 2-0. It was a tight game for me. Someone watching the game, I had fears going into that game because we lost to them. According to Johnny Boy, they were one of the reasons why we did not win the league. So obviously there was tension, there was pressure. Una Emery was once an Arsenal manager. He's beat Arteta in the Europa League semi-finals. He collected 6 points from me last season. So I was a bit skeptical, but I had a little faith that we could do it because, as we said last week, that Arteta learns from his mistake, and he did. He did not play
Exactly.
Zinchenko this time. He played Juren Timber, who actually had a very, very good game. So for me, I'm happy that we had the win. I've talked about it in my own on my own channel and stuff. But it was a good game. Tension, Partey played well. Um, Saka, as always, very, very effective. Doesn't have to do all the dribbling, dazzling. But when it comes to clinch time, Saka does his thing. What they're trying to train Ahmad and Garnacho to be at United.
But
But
Arsenal has a conundrum now.
but yeah.
I
So
know what the
what
conundrum is.
I want to hear your thoughts on the game, and then we talk about the conundrum. Yeah, you go ahead, Johnny boy.
Okay. Well, it was, you could tell it was a game Arsenal knew they couldn't lose. Rather they could draw.
Hmm.
Neither lose or draw, because they knew that last season, like I said, last season, this was a team that caused them, to me, Aston Villa is what cost Arsenal the title last season. Some people might not agree, some people might agree, but to me they did.
Well, yeah,
So
we
that
lost to them
already
two
is in the
times. It's
back
part
of
of the five. Yeah, it's 2 out of 5. So yes.
it's already part of their mindset that okay, we can't lose. And you could tell when Arsenal scored the goal, you could see that they knew
Hmm.
by the celebration of the fans and the players, you could tell that okay, they knew that okay, this was a game they had to win, because it was like a statement. Like it's one of those games that people are looking forward to. Okay, are you going to correct your wrongs? Because every season you try to correct your wrong from the previous season,
Mm-hmm.
and that's one thing Arsenal have done. And they've corrected the wrong from last season by collecting 3 points
Yeah.
from where they didn't collect last season. So they've corrected the one wrong from last season. So that's a good step. And the game was a KG game, to be honest with you. It was a first, just like with Mainz game, first half, you could tell nobody wanted to, it was like, okay, let's see you play, I play, and then we'll see what's gonna happen. But second half, you okay, we have to go for it now. And then Aston Villa had a chance, and Raya too was brilliant on the day, because he made 2 brilliant saves in that game.
3. Yeah, Raya has been
One
good all
from
season. To be fair, even
one from Watkins, and I think the other one was it Rogers or somebody that he made
also
a
Watkins
fantastic
as
save.
well. Yeah.
So that, I think that save was kind of a turning point, because he made that save, because I believe you could tell that game was also a game, just United game. The person that scored first was going to win the game, because it was a KG game. So
Yeah.
as the moment Arsenal scored, you could see the boost. Arsenal started playing so well
But no, I
and
disagree with that
went for
because
the second goal.
Arsenal was playing well from like minute 5 to about minute 35, and then
Yeah, but Arsenal always
those
does
guys
that.
grew into and then they grew into the game.
Exactly. So that's why I say it was a back and forth. But you could tell the person that scored the first goal was going to like blow up the game and going to win. And that's what happened. Arsenal scored first and they won the game. So that was what happened. And I think it was the best, to me, it was the best game of the weekend. Over aside Chelsea's game. I gave it the
Chelsea one
best
is just
game.
the score line was not really, yeah,
In terms of in
because
terms of intensity,
Wolves did not really come out to play, but in terms of intensity, in terms of like proper top 4, Man United
yes,
fans
top
remember
notch
with this,
game. Yeah.
yeah, top 4 battle type of
Aston Villa
top
Arsenal
teams
game.
play.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was the best. It was the best game of the weekend. So yeah,
yeah.
and Arsenal deserved finally at the end of the day they deserved to win the game. That's the truth. So yeah. I give
You
it to
said
Arsenal.
about conundrum. What conundrum were you want to ask about? A conundrum, like Arsenal as a conundrum.
I think it's high time Arsenal fans start getting disturbed or worried about Martinelli. I don't know about you, but I think, and if you notice, Arteta too doesn't really trust him because he wanted to buy Modric for huge money as well. Because remember what made Arsenal not go for Modric, because Chelsea offered to pay, I think, more money to his agents or something like that. There was something that Chelsea offered that Arsenal didn't want to. But in terms of money, they matched the offer with Chelsea, but Chelsea beat them with just a little bit of added money to they paid to do some stuff. So that tells you that Arteta too doesn't trust Martinelli, and Martinelli is not helping himself, because one problem I have with Martinelli, if you notice, he never ever looks up. Like when he's running, his face always is down. Like if you notice Saka, the difference between Saka and Martinelli, that Saka has developed other avenues to impact the game, but Martinelli hasn't. So if you mark Saka, Saka can cross the ball just like you said. Saka doesn't need to beat you. Saka can cross and cause havoc. But Martinelli, if he's not beating you with pace, he's not doing anything. So that's a conundrum. And see,
I'm going to ask,
what's his name?
Before I give my take on the Martinelli one, Jude, what do you think about the Martinelli thing? Is it becoming the new Rashford, or like what do you think?
I actually think he's the new Rashford, please. Please. I think he's somehow I'm trying to remember a game where trust has started. It's because it could be a situation where Trossard comes in, the legs are tired.
Trossard is an impact sub. That's the truth about
that's
Trossard.
what I'm saying. What about if we switch the gameplay? I didn't watch most of the games last season, so if you switch the gameplay and Martinelli comes in, I've seen some games where he came in and he made the difference in the game. It might be a Arteta scope, right? Martinelli goes first, use the pace, outpace that right wing.
But the problem with that is that he's not impacting it. That's my problem.
But he's
it depends on how you see impact. Exactly.
His impact is, this is what we want you to do. And at the end, they bring in that sub, and that sub looks fresh and hot. And that wing is already weakened. Do you understand what I mean? That's one angle that you can also look at. But on the other angle, like, people look at goals most times.
I'm not even talking about goals. So
goals is fine. I'm not even talking about goals. About Martinelli. If Martinelli was scoring, you won't remember.
No, but look at his aura game. There was a chance. I don't know where you remember. There was a chance.
Like if you were scoring,
it was like a counter attack.
But if he was scoring, most people wouldn't be looking at that.
There was a chance. Arsenal had. It was like a counter. And Martinelli had the ball, was running, and he passed the ball behind Saka.
Yeah, but it's not on form.
It was like a counter, and he gave the ball behind Saka.
In terms of performance, he's still maybe better than Rashford right now.
I'm like, what are you doing, bro?
We're looking at Martinelli. I agree that most people is just the aesthetic. It's just the finishing. Yes, right now it's not on form. It's not really doing anything with the ball. But on the other hand, the games last season, if you look at last season, the games started Trossard on the left wing. He did not play well. If you put Trossard as false nine or center forward, he plays well. But if he starts on the left, he does not have any impact. So Arteta just found the right balance. He used Martinelli to, run, drive at players, hold the touch line, because Trossard is not a touch line guy. Trossard wants to always come in and shoot. Martinelli is happy to stay on the touch line. So it's just like, tire out the defenders, let them get used to you, and then let's bring Trossard to shake things up a bit. Until you're right, Arteta is always looking for a left winger. So maybe until we get that left winger, that's what we are going to do.
A star was unnetted on that during the game, though. The Rodgers guy. The guy was
a wrecking ball. That guy was on something. That guy was on something.
So are we congratulating
and rice and toast?
Are we congratulating us now for their Premier League title, their trophy that they won last week?
No, we have to congratulate them now, because just like I said, they corrected the wrong from last season.
Congratulating them for consistency and mentality.
Looking at it from one angle, you can't congratulate them
yet. The team that they say do not have mentality is
last season they won the first
points from their enemies.
The first leg, right?
No. They lost. No, Arsenal lost both legs last season. They collected 6 points. Yes. And they didn't even score. They didn't score too. So not only
we didn't take our chances.
They didn't score.
This game was like the reverse. This game was like the reverse of
Exactly.
last season.
It's
Last season we had
Thank
clear cut
you.
chances, we did not score.
Yes.
It's unfortunate
Yes.
that
And
United's second
Exactly.
goal was disallowed. So otherwise,
Who's
it
second
would
goal?
have been a quiet.
no, offside. You guys need to tell Ruud van Nistelrooy to teach your forwards, all three of them.
It was offside now. What are you
It was
saying?
an offside
How to
king
read
now.
the line.
It's an
You
offside
understand?
king. That's why.
Anyway, yeah, we know Man City smashing. Haaland getting a hat trick. I'm sure is the usual, isn't it?
It's expected.
Nobody was surprised now.
I said
I said it 5 now. I said 5.
Liverpool game. We expected Liverpool to win as well, right? But what do you think about? Was it?
Yeah, but I didn't watch the Liverpool game, but
and he was having all those antics. Didn't want to come out.
Yeah, I didn't watch the Liverpool game, but everything I heard about that game was that Liverpool didn't play particularly well, but that they
not play particularly well their first 2 matches.
But that they were clinical, right?
They were clinical,
and it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny when I'm listening to Dr. talk about Arsenal, because I remember one season, United had just signed Lukaku, and Pogba was there. That summer, Lukaku and Pogba were doing handshake in Miami by the pool. Let me tell you something. First game in that season, 4-0. Second game in the season, 4-0. Saturday, they were calling Man U 4-0 FC.
Is that not the season you guys came second, though?
Yes, now we came second that season. Do you know how many points we were behind? We're behind City
Yeah, but
by as many points.
What did your coach
We're
say?
behind City by as many
What did
points
Mourinho
as.
say? I know, but Mourinho said
that was the biggest achievement of his life.
Well,
yes, that's why he's now in Fenerbahce. That's why he's now in Fenerbahce.
No, but United proved him right, though. Let's be honest. United proved him right.
He's not a serious guy.
Okay. Well, as we say in Nigeria, make we dey see.
Yeah, make we dey see. All I was getting at was that let's not be drawing unnecessary conclusions from the first 2 games.
We are here to review the game. We are here to review the game and review what we said. If someone says you're going to win the game and you're not playing well,
so that when the positive start happening, they won't have anything to say.
It will be too sweet.
Exactly. No. So let me have my own now.
You guys are getting it all wrong.
Get it.
We are talking based on game 2. That's what we're saying now. We're not jumping the gun. You guys are jumping the gun.
No, this is not based on game 2.
Let's jump game 2.
Because of time, let's jump.
I want to say something quickly about Arsenal. The only part of Arsenal that scares me is their midfield. Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, and Odegaard. I think arguably probably the best midfield in the world right now. Merino is the left back.
No.
But I'm just praying for
Partey to get. Why we say the best midfield in the world? They want to hype. What about Ugarte?
No. I'm not hyping. I'm being serious. I'm not hyping.
Man City has good dog on his back. Don't forget.
No. I'm not hyping. I'm being serious. I'm saying the way I see football, though, I think I don't think any other team has 3 midfielders equally as good in terms of quality as Partey, Rice, and Odegaard. And I'm praying that Partey gets his normal injury. I'm just praying that Thomas Partey is well. No, I'm giving you my own opinion, right? Because I think most teams wish they could have 2 midfielders like Partey and Declan Rice. I'm not doing what Tekotov did. I'm telling you how I see football, right? I don't rate a lot of the other players, but I like.
You have those 2 midfielders in your team now.
I wish I had those 3 midfielders, basically. Declan Rice and Thomas Partey, especially. Everybody wishes that they could have midfielders like Partey and Rice, who are good defensively, also on the ball. Like they can both play. Like Declan Rice can play. Like he can get the ball in a tight area. He can do tip tap. He can tackle. He's strong. He can do the long range passing. And so can Thomas Partey, right? So I don't think anybody is able to assemble a midfield like that right now. So I will give us that one. I was thinking about it. I'm like, more. Everybody's hyping. What's this guy's name? Saka and Saliba and Gabriel. I think Loki is that Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, and Odegaard combination. I think that is the real. And I just pray that Thomas Partey.
Midfield is the engine of the team. So.
normal injury. Make Thunder strike him when he did like this right
No
now.
worries. You see that praise? I'm
Make
going
it
to
That's the
clip
win.
it.
biggest fear.
I'm going to clip it so that at one point in the season, when you start doing your usual Arsenal
It's
thing,
not me
I'll
now.
just
It's not
have it
me.
on play.
There are many things I can hate Arsenal for, but the things I like about Arsenal, I like about them, right? So, like I
Okay.
said, I like these three midfielders. I like Bukayo Saka, so I'll take Saka at Arsenal. I'll take Thomas
Right.
Partey immediately. I'll take Declan Rice. Right.
Saliba, you will take.
Odegaard, I will even also take self.
Benjamin
But
White, you will take. Even Kai
Ben
Havertz,
White,
you will
do
take.
what now? Kai Havertz for
Even
what
Kai
now? No,
Havertz, you will
you
take.
can keep Kai Havertz. No worry.
You will take Kai
You
Havertz.
will take Saliba and
No,
Gabriel though. You take
you can
Saliba and
keep.
Gabriel.
No, you can keep Saliba and Gabriel too. They are
Don't
good,
worry,
but I don't want them. You can keep them.
international break, we'll have this conversation. Kai Havertz, Rashford. Kai Havertz, Hoyland. Kai Havertz, Zexi. We are
No,
going to
but
have this
Evans
conversation.
and the
International
second
break.
hand Haaland.
this is how you would know that.
Don't worry,
This is how
international
you
break.
know that I'm not trolling. This is how you know that I'm not trolling, because I'm telling you that, like, I know I accept that Saliba is better than the Man U defenders, but I like our defenders, so I won't take him. But I mean what I'm saying, that I rate, like, this is how highly I rate Declan Rice and Partey. I wish Declan Rice had come to Man U, honestly. Thomas Partey, I think he's like, what's this guy's name? Diaby that Arsenal had, or Dembele, one of these really good players, exceptionally good, but injury will not allow you to really
Yeah,
enjoy how
Diaby was.
good they
Yeah,
are, and that's
Diaby
how
was.
good I
Yeah,
think
that's
like Partey is. If Partey can be fit a full season, I think Arsenal would be a bigger problem. That's what I'm saying. That I just hope and pray that he's the one that I really wants bad things to happen to, of anybody in Arsenal's team.
that's
Let
Let
probably
them
me
be
why
put
playing
this.
Arsenal
Declan
probably
Rice and
Let's
Jorginho.
right. Let's
wants
just keep
Merino
this.
so that Merino will take some pressure off him.
Let's keep this moving. Let's keep this moving. Since you're praying for bad things to happen, you know what I'm praying for? The
Mhm.
game against Liverpool at Old Trafford. Since you're not going to take Saliba
Oh
because
right,
you have
yeah.
better defenders, like what are your thoughts on the game? What is your prediction? How do you see it unfolding? You know,
Well,
and slots, as you said, that's not a good start to the season, like play wise, but they're clinical. How do you see their strikers against your defenders? You have Delete, you have
And if you notice
Masraoui,
now,
you have Ugarte, you know, all these
so here's what
top world class people.
here
Liverpool
is
is not
here's
a
what I wish,
counter-attack
right?
team.
I wish Ten Hag could be like, I wish strangely, I wish Ten Hag could just be like Eddie Howe or something, so he can just be doing his business, cooking on the low, under the radar, make mistakes, fix your mistake, and nobody's really paying attention. But I feel like, in this United, especially in this third season, with all the signings, with all the trolling, there's absolutely no
Two trophies
room
back to
for Ten
back,
Hag.
yes.
Yeah, trophy back to back here, all of that. There's absolutely no room for Ten Hag, honestly, to make mistakes or to do anyhow this season. So that kind of
Because your new
pressure,
owners,
right? It either would result in, like, there's no middle ground for Ten Hag. It's either going to be success or a catastrophe. Because at this point, middle ground is failure, even because even in the middle ground there'll be so much noise. You spend this, you spend that, you spend this. So that game against Liverpool, I think we can win. Not just because we're playing well this season, but because historically, if you look at the track record, we tend to do relatively well
Well, at
against Liverpool
Old Trafford,
Old
yes.
Trafford. So I think we could definitely win there. Um, I I just hope that, like, and again, I noticed that in the game against Brighton, right? And this is for Jude, the United fan, and for everybody, all the people listening and everything. Ten Hag is, I think, making the right decisions. Can you believe that Kobe Mino and Ahmad lasted on the pitch longer than Bruno Fernandes and Rashford? So Ten Hag subbed Bruno before he subbed Ahmad. He subbed
yeah,
Rashford
Bruno was playing
before he
crap.
subbed Ahmad. Yeah, which is what many United fans have been asking for from the manager since for a while, right? Take off Bruno when he's playing crap. Take off Rashford when he's playing crap. Hold these guys
Yes.
accountable. So I think these things are bound to eventually at some point yield results. If you keep doing the right things, you keep doing it in the right way, eventually it should produce results. I just don't know if the result is going to show this weekend. And
What's your
I'm just
prediction?
afraid that my prediction,
Hmm.
this is going to be a long season, honestly, because
No, for the game, for the game. No, all this political talk.
For the game, don't die. I say don't
not
jump the
only,
gun. Don't jump the gun, my
You
guy.
guys historically win at Old Trafford, so you know.
yeah,
Stay, stay,
no,
stay,
for
stay in the
the
moment.
game, 2-1, 2-1 United win for the game. I have to back my team. I think we're going to win.
Jude, do you share that sentiment?
2-1.
And
I'll probably give them 1. They're already on a scoring spree. I think it might be a 1-0 kind of game. That's what I'm leaning towards, but they're pressing on both ends. But I'm
1-0 who win?
1-0 Man U. Manchester United. Or 2-1. 2-1. I'll go with
only
2-1.
Only two teams in Premier League right now have not
1-0 or 2-1. Which one?
2-1. Because Liverpool has been on a scoring spree, so I give them that
only
one.
2 teams I've not considered this season.
And whoever that hasn't considered.
You're playing them this weekend, Liverpool, and they will score you.
Concede now. They will concede. That's not a different. That's not the thing. If it's ever considered, they will concede. Me. I just want him to. I know he'll probably do the same thing, but if he can start a striker, he will be better off starting a striker, and because the reliance on Rashford is becoming too much, so we need to shift away from Rashford. Ahmad is improving. That's why I said the game against Brighton is 50-50. If Ahmad had clicked in some counters that we are doing right, we would have probably had an early lead against Brighton. So
yeah, Ahmad had a chance. Ahmad had the counter. He passed the ball behind Rashford.
Not even behind Rashford. You could have passed to Bruno Fernandes first.
Right, true.
So now,
Johnny Boy, you're a neutral fan, right? So what's your prediction?
Don't say he's a neutral fan, please.
I'm a neutral fan. I will say it as it is. No, I'm not. I'm not against. Did I predict you're going to beat Fulham? I predicted you beat Fulham, and you did beat Fulham.
It's an obvious prediction.
No, it's not. You lost to Fulham last season. What are you talking about?
Prediction.
You lost to Fulham last season.
Thank you so kindly for your graceful prediction.
I use my head, not my heart when I'm giving prediction. United Liverpool is going to be a cagey game, and just like you said, Liverpool money has their kryptonite, especially at Old Trafford. So I see my head is telling me 2-1 United. My heart is telling me a draw, but I'll choose a draw.
So now you decided.
I want to start like making a table, and like if you get the score right, you get more points and things like that. We'll discuss it later.
It's going to be a high scoring game. So 2-2.
Okay. Right. I agree. That's going to be a high scoring game. It's going to be cagey. You guys are at home. Ten Hag might choose to want to do his usual sit back and counter attack, but you have better midfielders now. You have Ugarte, you have Casemiro world class. You have Kobe Mino.
Is Ugarte confirmed?
Yes, it's confirmed. Here we go. I think I saw here we go.
Ugarte is confirmed.
Yeah.
Okay, so now no more excuses now. No excuses.
So I'm expecting a high.
I didn't know. That's what I'm asking.
You want to come out of our
side? You play 2 false nines. You have Mason Mount, the press resistant guy, as Sean said last week. So
what do you mean by no excuses? I don't. Let's fight now because people say no excuses.
3-2 Liverpool. A solid 3-2 Liverpool based on all those factors.
No excuse in terms of you have your Casemiro replacement, because the argument was that Casemiro was old, right?
Yeah.
So you have your Casemiro replacement. That's what I mean.
No excuses. Wait, no excuses. So therefore, what? So what now?
Signed. You guys wanted new defense. You basically
like
have
your midfield is solid right now. That's what I'm
concerned. I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. So no excuses. Then what? So therefore,
you have to perform now. That's why
you should play well, but you're still going to lose anyway. We'll play well. I believe you guys are going to play well.
Perform, win games.
Yeah.
Challenge for the title, basically. That's what I mean. Challenge.
Okay.
No excuses.
I'm not saying
challenge for the title when you lose. No excuses.
Okay, challenge for the title.
Don't challenge in just December. No, challenge till you may.
Okay. Brighton spent 200 million. Are they expected to challenge?
We are becoming accountants.
No.
I just want to understand what the basis is now. Okay, world class. Okay. Chelsea spent.
I'm not inclusive about.
Chelsea spent 1 billion. do you expect them to compete? Are they meant to compete
Right.
this
Okay.
season immediately?
If you want to go,
And also, you also look at the caliber of players also plays a role too.
Ugarte,
Caliber of players. You bought
Caicedo, Lavia. Who are you having in your team?
the elite
Ugarte or
Mazraoui.
Lavia. These are not.
Exactly.
I mean,
the elite
okay,
and
Ugarte
Mazraoui.
or Lavia is not a fair. Wait, just so I
Ugarte or
understand
Caicedo.
that I'm hearing now. Let's
Okay,
let's
the
put
elite
this
or
back
any
together
Chelsea defender.
on
The
the
elite or
table.
elite.
Let's put our cards on the table now. If I understand what you guys are saying correctly, you guys are saying that the quality of players that we've signed are so good that we should be expected to be competing for the Premier League, right?
Yes.
That's what you are saying.
Yes.
And plus the fact that your coach has been there 3 years too.
And has won 2 trophies back to back. No other coach has
Exactly.
done that. Apart from
Okay. No, I don't
just
disagree,
like you said,
right? I think
just like you said, you've seen improvements in your team too as well. So
okay, so I don't disagree. I think we should be competing for the Premier League as well. I think the players we have are good enough, and the players we sign are good enough, and we should be competing.
And I believe at the beginning of your transfer
our
window,
manager is good
if you
enough.
have asked United fans what signings you guys want, you would have said a defender, a right back, a centre midfielder, and a striker.
Of course. So
and
yes.
you've gotten that.
So I think we should be competing, but I'm not a hostage taker, so I'm not going to hold my manager to ransom, right? And say you have no excuses, because I also understand that there are excuses, right? So like for example in football last season we had a record amount of injuries, both in terms of the amount of time that people were injured for and the number of injuries that we had.
Injuries are something you should plan for though. That's why you have 25 man squad, right? So that means you buy players that at least
so you plan
minimum good players you have is I would say
you plan
17
for
to 18.
injuries. Right, so you plan for injuries, but there's such a thing as like force majeure, right?
You don't
Act of God out of your hands. So I don't think anybody could have planned for I don't think anybody could have planned for Man U having to play 100 different defensive combinations. Basically, you can't build anything successful by when each game, every single game, pretty much you're playing a different centre back pairing. No team has ever been able to do that. You need to build a foundation. You need to have a consistent team available for you. So I mean, I understand that you have to plan for injuries and all of that, and the manager should hold himself to a high standard. But I don't know what people mean by no excuses, because only one person can win.
Which is what
Johnny Boy, why are you dragging this conversation too much? He has already told us that they should compete. Now they have agreed.
Which is what you did. My bought quality players now.
He has already beaten the bait. Just allow him. He has beaten the bait. He has agreed that they are mentality monsters.
It's not bait. It's not bait. It's what I expect. I expect that we should compete. It's the fact.
It's the fact.
It's the fact. So, but that we should compete. Competing, I think, means different things. I think if you're in the top 4, you're competitive.
No, it's not the same thing.
Whenever so when you say you're competitive, right?
You're competitive. Your word now. I'm going to use your own word. You gave example of Mourinho the season he came second, right? You just said he didn't compete because he was how many points behind City, right? So you wouldn't call that competing. Would you say that?
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's not competing.
No, I would not. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So just by that same vein, you can be fourth, right, and be 10 points behind first. That's different from you being second and 20 points behind first, right?
So obviously, what I mean by competing is that you being in the title race, at least you may. That's what we understand that is being competitive.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm competing.
That's what everybody. That's what we understand.
For me, okay, yeah, no. So for me, United being competitive this season means that we're in the top 4. It's under 15, a 15-point difference between us and the first, right? So we can be fourth, we can be fifth, or whatever. But let it be that maximum it's 5 games that's the difference between us and that's five wins is the difference between us and first place. So however we fall on the table, it doesn't necessarily matter. Dragging the league to the end of the thing, like it's an unreasonable expectation that people have of United.
I'm not saying tail of season.
We'll just No, overnight, what do you expect should have happened in the 3 months between the rubbish that you saw from Man U last season and now? What kind of magic do you expect to have happened that we will now be doing with Man City? Obviously, there's an X factor that they can
Ateta did
still
it 2 years
revise.
ago now. Ateta did it 2 years ago. Arsenal finished eighth, and then
Ateta
the
came eighth
next season,
twice. Ateta came eighth
that's what I'm saying.
twice and then came fourth in. Nah, yeah, I mean,
And then
Barbele is on full display this episode, but it's all good because United will bounce back, and we'll all be here,
which is
right?
fine,
We'll all be here
which is fine.
to laugh or cry.
And Sheonti, since you guys, played Brighton recently and you lost, so Arsenal, Brighton, how do you think the game is going to go, and what's your prediction?
Arsenal is going to win.
It can only be one
There's no way
winner
Arsenal
now.
will fall
One
yet.
winner.
No, Arsenal is going to win. It's not this thing. No, if the blood is hot, right? That's why I want to congratulate Arsenal on their Premier League title victory now because the blood is hot. There's excitement. Everything is pumping. And this Brighton, this their Gidi that is their 31-year-old manager is doing. It's went in tears. So I'm now a hater
That's true. When I saw
because
that,
of
I
the way
was
they won
mad.
this
Like,
match.
wow.
I'm now a hater of this guy and of Brighton. So I'm praying on their downfall. And I don't mind if Arsenal even
Thank you
twack
very
them
much.
like 5 or 6. If you win.
Fine for that. It's going to be a tight game. I don't think we're going to smoke them the way people think we're going to smoke them, just because
Brighton Arsenal is always tough.
exactly, it's very, very tough. And apparently, I was looking at some head-to-head earlier, and we've never had more than a two-game winning streak against Brighton. Like, it's like we win 2 and then we lose and things like that. So we've won them twice. We
Remember
beat them twice
before
last
last
season.
season,
No, in general,
before last
generally
season at
speaking.
Emirates, they had beaten Arsenal at Emirates back to back
Exactly.
3 times.
So we beat them twice last season. This
Wow.
might be a jinx. I don't know, but I still think we're going to win. It's going to be.
They don't win. Come
It's
on,
going to
Bryson.
be a very, very
Brighton
tight.
is not
2-0.
come up, please.
A very tight 2-0.
Don't come back
is my
here.
prediction.
Don't come back here if Arsenal don't win. I swear. Let's just
It's not common, I mean.
retire.
Somebody lost to Brighton, so it's not common.
If Arsenal don't win. Okay.
No, it's I won't be surprised. Like, we played 17 times, we beat them 8 times. They beat us 6 times. Like, it's just a little 2-game margin, and there's lots of draws in between.
Am I being punked? Am I being punked here? What is Brighton a tough team?
Facts speak for itself.
Yeah, they are.
They're a bogey team. They're a bogey team.
Is somebody coming to
They're a bogey team for Arsenal. Yes, exactly.
It's just like Wolves. Brighton Wolves. They're a bogey team.
Brighton
Wolves.
They're not a bogey team for Man U. It's only Arsenal they're a bogey team for. Wow.
They are. No, I said it now. I said it that they were going to lose. Man U was going to lose. You were the one that was confident that Man U was
what's your prediction then, Shewonti, and then we'll go to Johnny Boy.
Oh, of course, Arsenal will win 3-0 or so. But I just do not like the hemming and howing. I'm hearing from you. I don't like the.
So we have to speak. We're not playing. We're not playing against code.
Okay.
No, you have to follow. You have to follow fact now and history of the fixture. So
exactly, Johnny Boy.
Okay, so that in case this thing is on the record that you said maybe
Arsenal is going to win. Arsenal is going to win, but it's just like Dr. So it's going to be a KG game. So I go with 2-0. Brighton. I think Brighton is going to score though. I'm going to go 2-1.
Arsenal. 2-0. We are going to assume that Man City is going to beat West Ham United, right? West Ham is at home.
They should.
I just signed Haaland into my FPL.
I don't trust West Ham.
Haaland is 50 million.
Yeah, it's not
Man City always beats that West Ham. I don't know why.
Yeah, if Moyes was there, I'd be like, okay, maybe it would be more defensive. Lopetegui is not defensive at all, so yeah.
But like, I mean, Wan-Bissaka looks inspired. Kudus did not look too bad in the last game. I think maybe somebody was surprised.
They actually bought well, to be honest with you. West Ham actually bought well.
They have a plan. They want to stay in Europe.
Because even that game against Ipswich, right? I think Ipswich, I feel bad for them. Like, Man City just use Haaland's cheat code. Like, Haaland is not a fair. You can't really judge somebody based on how you perform against Haaland. So you have to, until they face a tough opponent. I think West Ham will give them a good game, but City ultimately, City is going to win. Forget.
All right. And then Chelsea, Crystal Palace. Palace are playing well. Chelsea are playing well.
Who's home?
Chelsea at home. But I think that's going to be a draw for some reason. I can't just, I don't want to see Chelsea winning. So it's just going to be
Chelsea's winning.
A 0-0. Jackson missing like 16 chances. And then 0-0. That's my prediction. I know it's bad. Bele is hating, but that's my prediction.
2-1.
I see it going.
Chelsea's going to win 2-1.
Yeah, I think Chelsea would also win. I think Chelsea would also win 2-1. Although, I guess maybe I wouldn't be surprised if they lose too, because I think that Maresca bubble, I think we should expect up and down from Chelsea. One day 6-2, another day they will lose. So maybe today will be the opposite day, but I think they should have too much form. They're in good spirits. I think they are home. I think it should be too much for
Palace has lost 2 games as well too. So
yeah, but it's a derby. It's a London derby. It's different.
So yeah, and they might not want to lose 3 games straight.
Exactly.
It's not good.
You don't start the season like that.
Well, Chelsea will be too strong for them. Right. Chelsea might have signed a striker too by then.
Yeah, maybe not. What about Newcastle?
Signed Tony or
Newcastle, Tottenham.
Newcastle at home. Who's home?
Newcastle at home.
Newcastle. I give Newcastle.
That's going to be a tough game, man.
I give Newcastle.
That's going to be a tough game, but
my head says Tottenham, but I don't want to predict Tottenham to win, so I'll just say Newcastle to win. Newcastle to win 2-1, but I have a strong feeling that Tottenham is going to do something.
Nah, I think it will be a tough game, as you guys are saying, but I think Tottenham would win. I think Tottenham's going to win. I think it's still early in the season. Tottenham, they still seem very like gingered. I don't know if Newcastle have all their signings are fully settled, or if they as a team have settled as well. There's like some change going on in the back room with Amanda Staley or so. Tonali's back, yeah. Who knows how quickly we'll be able to set him. But so yeah, I mean, I think it should be a tough game, right? I honestly don't mind either way who wins. If Newcastle win, I'm happy for Newcastle. I like them as a team. I hate Ange Postecoglou because people pointed to him in comparison with Ten Hag. So any pain he suffers or any loss that he suffers is I'm happy for it. So honestly, I don't mind if they lose. At the same time, Tottenham win. Eddie Howe also was somebody that people used to hold up as an example of why Ten Hag is shared. So yeah, this game, anyhow it turns, I'm okay with the result.
So there you have it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you did,
we didn't predict. Okay, you said Newcastle, Tottenham's going to win, right?
Yeah, Tottenham. I know. I said my head says Tottenham's going to win, but I'm predicting 2-1 Newcastle. Even though I think Tottenham's going to win, I just don't want to put it out there in the atmosphere. But yeah, so like I said, there we have it, guys. Let us know your own prediction. Let us know your thoughts on Cole Palmer's new position at Noni Madueke. Was it a ballsy move or was it a deep move? Regardless, he proved himself. And let us know your own thoughts about United. Are they on the up? Are they mentality monsters or are they, pretenders? Are they contenders or pretenders? You let us know in the comment section below. Please, as usual, press the like button. Subscribe if you're new or yet to do so. I'll let Sheunti and Jenny Boy have the last word today. So, any final thing for the listeners and the audience?
Just congrats again to Arsenal on their 2-game 6-point title. Congrats.
Right, thank you very much.
Stop jumping the gun. Show Thomas. You're taking game week by week.
All right, there you have it. There you have it. This has been Run of Play Podcast. On to the next episode. Stay safe and we'll see you. Take care, guys.